Hello and welcome to a little bit more of our Orghelovar campaign, playing, of course, as Orghelovar, the glass dwarves of the Serpent's Reach. Before we get into it, I actually have a list of people sent to me by Wagensu, who are responsible for the writing that we've been enjoying in the Orghelovar mission tree. So far. So I just wanted to, give them a bit of a shout out before we go into it. So the first 16 events are written by Redbones. The event where you choose your research pass was written by Wagensu. Glass research events written by OK-Man or Ockman, one of the two. The innovation of light, the magic research events were written by Grimhar. Sapphire research events, armor research events, magical bullets research events, written by Cody Dot, microscope and Black Dames tier research events, again by OK-Man, laser research events by Spyhouse, and advanced lasers also by Spyhouse, and then finally some magic research events written by OK-Man. So I just wanted to give those guys all a huge shout out because I've been very, very much enjoying recently the writing in this mission tree. So yeah, giving them a shout out I felt was the right thing to do. But anyway, with that said and done, with our 500,000 manpower, we are going to maybe look at building some of these. Great project upgrade cost minus 10%. Would be cool for the future, so we were going to get that one sorted. And I'm going to use my 500,000 manpower to get that built. So let's do that. Seems reasonable to me. You guys are all moving here for this doodad, which will be a little bit cheaper as soon as that's done. Alright, let's unpause and get it going with then. Culture changing, nice. So if I look at the culture now, I've only got one more Harpy province, and that is this one right here. We're going to get that converted for a mere 20 diplomacy points. Railskulker wants access. Good, thanks. Seems like a rather silly thing to allow. And yeah, last stream we went and conquered Mithradoom and Ernat Veer. Wait, Ernat Veer had Mithril, and now it's got Dames tier. Huh. That's kind of annoying, because I think that Dames tier is going to run out after a time. Whereas the Mithril wouldn't have. It's going to re-roll the trade good. That's slightly irritating. But yeah, cores are getting done. Goblins and orcs getting expelled. That's what we love to see. There's nothing... Or maybe we could convert... No, these provinces that we would want to convert here from the Jad are all goblins anyway, so we're getting rid of them. I don't think there's anything we want to convert. Except maybe this new Sun Cult stuff. But that's a Katbahar, it's not even us. This has been taken over by Sarian. They're now at war with Kuzurum. I could attack Count Larasar, but then I'd be at war with Elizner. I'm not entirely favouring going to war with Elizner, to be honest. I'm going to have to go to war with Elizner regardless, it seems. And then Krafnor, our truce is almost up. But alas, it do be that way. Wait until these guys get here, and we will start doing the thing. Ahodavar is finished. What other building can I build in Ahodavar? Let's build that. Really waiting on this one to be converted. But now we've got this slightly cheaper to upgrade because of the Ahodavar School of Architecture. We're going to do that. And maybe use a little bit more manpower to finish it off. And now that all the 10,000 are there, let's send them off. This is Dwarven 24. Start the prep. Send all 10,000. The morale is fine. We will just do a couple of points of org. And then we will prepare administratively. And set them on their way. Beautiful. I can select a deity as well. I've got 200. I think we want to go with Dwarven. Seems like the best one for that. 15 stream streak. Holy. That's kind of wild. I believe actually I've seen working... I have not been working when you've been streaming. Looks like the god of scheduling has bestowed upon me its favor. Blessed, indeed. Our expedition finds itself in a cavern of truly staggering scale. Despite the immensity of the cave, what catches our eyes is not the high shadows of the cavern roof above, but a colossal wall of woven spiderweb spanning the entirety of the cave. After some hasty experimentation, it appears that the silken barrier is strong enough to repel most attempts to cut a way through. Using a combination of magic and enchanted weapons, we were able to, after much effort, make the beginnings of an opening. But some of our explorers believe that a well-stoked flame could provide a quicker way through the wall. I'm going to take my time, because burning it, I feel like, is going to burn me. Having decided to cut through the webbing by hand, we're now facing the hardships of this decision. Progress has been slow, and we're finding all manner of things hidden within the webbing, most of them harmful. From sacks of spider eggs being breached and covering our cutters with hatchlings to pockets of acid containing half or fully dissolved prey, cutting our way through is proving itself a more dangerous task than expected. Thankfully, the way forward seems to be almost clear. Oof. Ouch. Trading copper now, it's quite nice. Professionalism up, also quite nice. Wait, is that at 80 now? It is. Lovely. Let's have actually check the mission tree as well. What are we aiming for next? Oh. 180 days until we get a new research event, and then that's what we're waiting on. Fair enough. I can fabricate a claim on your provinces, so I will do so. And I will do the same to you. And then on you, I can't. I really want to claim... Oh wait, you're at war with Dabar. And Zerkanrek. Ooh. Very, very scary. Hey, Tanya. Just the finished game as Jensiang to Lianzhou, and the mission tree ends quite early, and that's a bummer. I was thinking about Orghelovar next. Should I go Blackbeard Cartel or Ovdaltunga into the Begins expedition? I think starting as Blackbeard Cartel is better, because then you get to do the expeditions as you move towards Orghelovar. I think the expeditions are super, super useful. And it's not worth skipping. That would be my suggestion. That's going to have to be upgraded as well. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to repair at least Ernat Veer. This one is damaged. Cutting our way through the wall of web reveals a tunnel at the other end of the cavern. Thank you very much, Extraver. Appreciate it. For the gift sub. Damn. The trade good in Ernat Veer was fungi. I saw it being mithril. Pretty sure last stream. Cutting away through the wall of web reveals a tunnel at the other end of the cavern. It's seemingly not the only path forward, however, for our sharp-eyed scouts point out a smaller tunnel near the roof of the cave, the entrance near a rocky protrusion connected to the remnants of a silken wall. Climbing up to it using the webbing should be possible, but the entrance we cut may have weakened its structure to breaking point. I will continue on the ground level. And we have, I think this is one of our final, no it isn't, it's not even close. We want cartel backing for trade, indebted to the burgers gives 1 extra loan. That's kind of nice, but I actually don't have the ability to do that right now. Devolution of powers, extra advisors I quite like. Oh, you need a general again. Trying that, but each time you get blocked by neighbors. So when you're on your way there, not Orghelovar, Ovdolodham will either start colonizing 10 or Grogir's Crack. When you get there, fabricate a claim on 10, and it will it's impossible for them to have finished this colonization before you arrive here, even if you take a detour up here to kill some orc up here, even if you go through the fissures, you will always get here before they finish it, even doing expeditions. Then you just basically vassalize him and take this for yourself, abandon it, then migrate into it, is my suggestion. Is Cernvar taking the caves? It does look like that, yeah, that's why we broke alliance with him. Unfortunate, but 'tis what 'tis. I wonder if we take culture conversion costs and start culture converting the lands around here. Yeah, I feel like that's probably the best idea. Do I need my military advisor? I really hate this system, and I will never stop telling people that I hate this system. Prestige is fine to lose. Cartels, no. Bribing is 3.5 grand now, which is crazy. I don't really want to get rid of Crown Land either. Religious power is fine. Path priest influence is fine. Manpower is fine. Not a bribe. Impressment is always fine. Autonomy is usually fine. Enter radical reform. Force stability is not fine. Autonomy is fine. Don't like army tradition ones. Minting is fine. Corruption is fine. See, this system is just pure dog shit. It's so bad. Okay, the nobility is fine. This music that's on right now, I don't think fits EU4 at all. I like it, but it does not fit EU4 whatsoever. I'm gonna have to give admin support, I think. Alright, so the cultures that I do not accept, all over here, it's still expensive. Wait, what is this? That's Cobalt Dwarven, so it has the... That's mad expensive, holy. Would I like EU5 to have the name of the Overlord sprawl over the name of the subject on the map like in CK2? I think I would like it to be an option. You know what? That is so unacceptably expensive. Like, it'd be cheaper to accept fucking goblins. So how many of these... Oh, you go away a second. How many awardees have we got? I mean, we could just accept those ones. It's either accepting awardees or accepting the Bahari. I feel like I would rather accept the Bahari. We currently don't have any Bahari. That's completely... Oh, we already accept the Bahari. Okay. I don't know. Do I have the religious culture edict on? Ooh, that's a good question. Yes. Yes, I do. Whatever. With the wall of web no longer blocking our path, we're able to proceed onwards to the mouth of the winding tunnel. As soon as we enter the tunnel, however, we're attacked from behind, ambushed by a group of massive spiders. Each arachnid is taller than a dwarf in its own right. Their spiked carapaces gleaming with an almost metallic sheen. Kill them quick. The spider shells are hard and their fangs sharp, but with sound tactics and superior strength, we're able to bring them down with only an acceptable number of casualties. The desperation of our battle may have left the beast's remains in pieces, but we still have enough shards of their curious-looking armor to take on with us. Aside from anything else, they may be worth something. Let's go. Culture cost per... Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, there. It is what it is. Yeah, this soundtrack, Celebration of Buddha, does not feel like it belongs in EU4. I really like it, but I don't understand what it's doing in EU4. So very different to everything else. Did you know that Argos also had a mission tree? Yeah, I did. And it's able to automatically pass the Parliament shit. So I really want to try it. Maybe not immediately after Orghelovar, though. Manufactories, and I didn't bloody get it. Bloody Lycians. Our troops seem uneasy as we advance further down the tunnel, and the reason for their agitation soon becomes evident. A rushing, roaring sound fills the tunnel, and a dull drone that sounds like a raging waterfall, or the cry of some ancient beast. One thing's for sure, however, it's coming from the direction we're headed. Okay then. Actually, how long is it supposed to be? Right, this says new tree in 180 days. When did we do this? When did we do this? Because it's now January 1650, and we loaded in the game. I think more than a year ago, right? Well, more than almost a year ago. So more than 180 days. I better bloody get the bloody thing. Watch this absolute Chad release Gulen for me. That would be so based. Where is Serafan? Ah, there we go. The Enlightened Ten sat together once again, with Anbennar now discussing the future of Orghelovar. Choice has to be made about what project should be next, the focus. I'm gonna say perfection lies in the detail. And so we'll have an event and then a new mission doodad. The scouts halt the advance just in time, stopping us before a tunnel stringed from wall to wall with thin silken tripwires. A moment's inspection reveals that the tunnel is trapped. The slightest touch to any of the spider silk wires liable to set off clouds of dangerous poison gas. We're unable to delay long, however, and must choose a method of advance. Scouts, go ahead to disarm. Though it's not as quick or easy work, we eventually managed to clear enough of the traps for our troops to advance unhindered. They fell down the tunnel quickly, careful not to overstep the path declared safe by our scouts. After a few minutes of tense silence, all emerged on the other side, somewhat shaken, but relieved to all be in one piece. Yay, morale. Manufactory is the only institution I've managed to spawn. Did it as Ask Us Sir, which was super nice. I feel like I've gotten manufactories before. How far east are we going in the spine? I probably won't go into the Tree of Stone. I might stop at, like... I'll take the Topaz Throne for him, maybe. I mean, this is kind of shit, though, to be honest. I mean, the yearly Republican tradition could be nice. Earth Towers, thank you very much for the sub.
How goes the lasers?
The lasers, they're going. I suppose. They do a thing for me. We haven't actually got too much of the laser stuff yet. We will get that eventually, I am assuming. I don't care about gnolls. Local doctors in dead dwarf depths have begun to pay good money to study fresh corpses. The physicians claim this allows them to improve their knowledge of the human... I don't care about the human body, I'm a fucking dwarf. I mean... But I think I'm already 100 inno, right? Yeah, I am. So, whatever. Unpopular dissections can just be left to their own devices. My president are informers have located an ancient tome that may help you with your magical studies. I will go myself. Urbanization in Cobalt Mines. Oh, that's the one with lots of dev already. Yeah, I'm gonna take the production here, of course. There's nothing I can do to make it even better. I don't even think I need the cathedral there anymore, but whatever. They're late in the tree. I have not yet reached it. But we did try and make some glass shards shotguns. The roaring sound has returned, much louder than before. The party is worried, suspecting that we're nearing the source of the noise, or that it's nearing us. Worrying for the expedition's morale, we call a halt while we consider our options. The expeditionary captains meet to seek advice, wondering what move the party should make next. Are we fortify our position? Because we're a dwarf, of course we're fortifying things. I don't care about magic influence. Right, go back to drilling in Orghelovar. I want to save up for that dam. Spiders scuttle underfoot, ranging in size from a dire rat to a goblin's fingernail. They seem to be coming towards us from down the tunnel. The patter of their arachnid legs like thousands of tiny drumbeats over the growing crescendo of the roaring ahead. Though not directly aggressive, they lash out at anything that stands in their path. I will analyze the creature's behavior. We catch something as the spiders scuttle past us, an odd sense of unease that leaves us feeling quite disarmed. Our scouts catch a few of the lesser creatures as the group passes us, unceremoniously killing them to add to their gleaming carapaces to our bags of loot. Something still seems off, however, and our worries are vindicated when one of the scouts comes forward with a concerned look on his face. He tells us that the behavior like this for the kind of spiders they caught is far from normal, and the only thing that would cause them to move en masse like that is fear. He takes a deep breath before finishing his report, clearly distressed by the information he's about to pass on. They must be fleeing a greater threat. True. Facts, actually. Oh, Gundabad died. You suck. You're slightly better. Oh, is that one? Oh, fucking hell, that's a terrible naval dude. We're a good ways away from it needing to tech up, so I'm fine to leave it. My truce with you is actually up now. If I attack you, will Elise help? Yes. What about you? Looks like we have ourselves a target. I'll be retaking Crathanor now, thank you very much. Come back here. Something comes around a bend in the tunnel up ahead, careening off one wall and coming to a halt in front of you. It's a solitary spider. Tiny thing, really. Its 8 legs wiggling in desperation as it tries to right itself. Abruptly, the roaring that had been slowly building in the background stops. There's a moment of silence interrupted only by the rushing of air and the patter of tiny legs as the lone spider runs past us. Then following it around the bend in the tunnel, the storm arrives. Hundreds of thousands of chittering black bodies barrel down the tunnel towards us. A living arachnid tide thundering at our ranks with the force of a tidal wave. The roaring returns all at once, crashing down upon our eardrums with all the force of sudden thunder, accompanied by the eerie rushing of stale air as it's shunted in front of the wall of spiders like a bow wave before a great ship. There is no hope of shelter, nor any chance to stand and fight. We have no recourse but to flee. We will have to run. Tide of spiders crashes against the tunnel walls as we run for our lives. Those caught in the back of the party barely even have time to scream as the spider tsunami pulls them under, dashing their bodies against the stones. We spare the fallen at a single glance, our breathing harsh and ragged, as we push our bodies to their limits. After what feels like a lifetime of panicked flight, we make it to a cave opening in the tunnel. A great many of our number left lifeless under the surging wrath of the spiders still pursuing us. 600 soldiers and one whole ass morale. Holy. That's rough. Oh, we're still shaking and out of breath from our impromptu flight, but we've enough distance between us and the wave of spiders to regroup and decide what to do next. Our decision must be made quickly, but different opinions and stressful situations are bound to breed arguments and ill will. As the leader of the expedition, it's up to you how we go about overcoming. I mean, we'd find somewhere to hide, surely. The dull rumbling of the spider tsunami's passage shakes the very stone around us, but we manage to find a side passage just big enough for the remainder of our expeditionary force. The air is tense, thick with the laboured breaths and fearful mumblings of our expeditionaries. We don't know how long we can hide here, or how long we need to be able to hide to make it through this, but it seems the tide of spiders is passing us by without a second thought. Perhaps if we linger here long enough, we can make it out of here alive. Lost another half morale. Goblins fucked off. Ooh, hello. In quiet times, Dwarven children have long played the game of His Las Anares. His Las Anares. In this game, they compete to carve the chosen rune into a rock such that no other child can find it, combining dexterity and cunning to carve the smallest and most inconspicuous rune possible. To assist in both the carving and the examination, they tie together discarded glass, lenses, and shards from our glassworks to use as impromptu magnifying glasses. Inspired by the process, the Enlightened Ten have asked the scientists of Orghelovar with supplying the great strides we've made in glass research to the study of magnification, offering great rewards to any who can produce a device powerful enough to locate their own specially carved rune on the floor of a grand cavern. The Enlightened Ten, confident in our scientists, have already begun drafting plans to use such a device, including in the examination of our own specialty glass and furthering our understanding of the world around us. New missions! Let's go, let's have a look. And I've already completed one, fantastic. So I needed only 500 gold for that. It has already been several years since we agreed to fund research into magnification. So far, the findings presented to the Enlightened Ten have been too expensive, too impractical, or too unreliable to be of any real use. Only time will tell if such technology is even possible. Still, we hold out hope that the next candidate coming before the Enlightened Ten has achieved the seemingly impossible dream. Today, a gnomish inventor, Graham Glass Grinder, has come to petition the Enlightened Ten. He's dishevelled, with a tattered gnomish cap perched precariously upon his head, and an acrid smell following him throughout the hall. In a long speech punctuated with many stutters and much fidgeting, he claims to have reached a new understanding of the refraction of light, allowing him to create a magnification device desired by the Council. All he needs is a generous sum of money and a dedicated supply of glass lenses crafted perfectly to his specifications, and he'll revolutionize the field forever, or so he says. However, the Council has investigated his past and discovered some worrying signs. He previously convinced the Council that he was on the cusp of a breakthrough in producing cheap, self-cleaning glass implements, only to squander all the funds provided to him to produce only a single glass spoon, which promptly shattered when exposed to a hot bowl of stew. This incident is part of a worrying pattern, as time and time again he's failed to deliver on his promises. But this time he assures the Council that he has the problem in hand. With the Enlightened Ten split down the middle on whether or not to fund his project, they have turned to President Gundabad for the final decision. 1,000 crowns, or not. Fuck it. I'm gonna give him the money. Everyone deserves a 17th chance, right? Oh, right, everyone needs to go back to drilling. We can purchase a new ability, and we're just going to invest it into Splendor. That was 2 goblins in a trench coat. It was a gnome, so I feel like 1 goblin was honestly plenty. 1 goblin in a raincoat. The air around us grows stale as we wait, but there's no guarantee of safety if we decide to leave our hiding place. The brave among us suggest we make a move regardless, but logic dictates we hide for as long as it takes for the spider tsunami to exhaust itself and pass us by. We cannot allow indecision and infighting to plague our ranks at the moment, as volatile as this. It's not fucking safe. Also, we got shit tons of supplies. I don't want to attack a cat Bahar. Right, you now then need an admiral, and he's a bloody good admiral as well. And I'm gonna upgrade your ships first. All right, as soon as these are upgraded, then we go to war. Very possible to remove text from a piece of paper given the right circumstances, but those circumstances are specific enough that removing text is the exception to the rule. This can make mistakes and other basic clerical errors very costly to fix. If statistics are reported wrong, you cannot just quickly revise them and expect to keep a tidy and legible document. It takes an entirely new document just to make sure everything is correct. The mechanists have devised a unique type of document in order to erase these woes, or ease these woes. It's a piece of not quite paper. While it feels like the real deal, the texture of the material is such that it's possible to remove writing with a specialized brush, as to make sure that text is not removed accidentally. It'll appear as if nothing was there at all. Beautiful. And therefore, we will do an new research. I think Vorpal bullets for the morale damage sounds nice. Cav fire. Gyrocopters, very cool idea. Well, I think we go Vorpal bullets. And with the invention of self-cleaning parchment, we can do this one. Information is the most valuable weapon in the world, and the accurate recording and sharing of information is fundamental for efficient commerce, research, and statecraft alike. Rumor has it that the Kenorian artificers have showcased a new type of self-cleaning parchment that promises to make bureaucratic processes far more cost-efficient. Inspired by this, our scientists have begun developing their own variation. Paper capable of accurately and automatically transcribing anything said aloud in the immediate vicinity. From spycraft to the rapid recording of dictated notes and speeches, the possibilities are endless. We need only to develop this prototype into a working model. Nice. Turret steering plus 10 until the end of the game. Blessed be. I don't know if I want to make that a, Yeah, silk's pretty good, actually. I think everything here has silk. Yeah, silk's really good. I will pour it up then. The air around us grows stale as we wait. Oh, wait. How long do we wait? I feel like we've read this. I'm going to wait one more. No, you know what? We're going to go. We're going to go now. Because my morale is 0.4. I can't wait anymore. With the decision made, we collapsed to the cavern floor, unable to run any further. Rest, safety, a cold mug of mushroom ale, whatever we wish for is now just within our grasp. The darkness of the tunnel behind us is empty now. Silent as the grave that is now for many of our fellow expeditionaries. We spare them one last thought and return to make our way back home. We need to. We had no morale left. Great library. That's tech cost. I'm going to grab that. Every last one of us is shaken, bruised, and battered to the core, but when we emerge from the web-strewn depths, we emerge victorious! The spider tsunami shattered in our wake. Our expedition is home at last, and by their bravery we've opened a path through the web of defenses the great broodmother have woven around herself. As we count her dead and tally up our loot, one thought remains above all others in the minds of our expeditionaries. The way is clear to Yidab's nest. Of course, we're going to send them back out. And we're going to get you to be a 10-stack once again. Yeah, we almost failed that one. That one was really close. That's gonna be done 30th of the 11th. I'll spend 250 quid to get that done faster. Alright, so the tech cost, inno gain, who cares about inno gain, but the advisor cost is quite nice as well. Another deity can be selected. What do we want to go with now? I think maybe siege ability. Quite like some siege ability. Right, that's basically done. Easy peasy. Go back to dock for a monthly tick, and these 3 ships, just gonna get rid of them. And now we are just going to hunt enemy fleets in this general area while the armies make use of themselves. Monarch point wise, I guess we're the lowest on mill points, but generally we're not in any kind of big struggle. Oh, there we go. Found the Elysian Navy and sunk it. They have 108 ships somewhere. Oh, I found them. Wait, if that's all of their ships, we just, like, gonna blockade them. Oh, are we actually catching you now? "10 heavies, 26 galleys." Oh, we're slapping him. We slapped him, like, ridiculously hard. Where are they retreating to? Oh, they're going back just to where they came from. Okay. Let them repair. Also upgrade this. Make my ships a bit better. We got manufactories spawning on me. Serenvar's still at war with Railskulker. And unfortunately, Jad still holds Gulen. I imagine at some point I'll have 100% purely because I've got all of Akat Bahar sieged. And then we'll just peace out. I mean, I don't want to tank the monarch points. Yeah, at this point we're just waiting for them to accept the L. Upgrade the ships you caught. Oh yeah, true. I don't want to give anyone access. That would be a bad idea. Yeah, because I don't think there are actually any forts here. I mean, he's at 58. He's definitely going to be able to get quite a bit of land, actually. Ah! The motherfucker's back. But he doesn't have enough troops to not get stack wiped, so... Oh, that's fine. No, come back! You must not run! I need you to die! Come back! I'm only a dwarf, my legs are short! Well, I guess I am invading. Like, they don't have that many troops. Yeah, they got 6. They haven't even got enough to beat one of my stacks. We're good. We're very good. Kind of want to get over to Zornakel and sink the entire fleet, but that's the capital, so it's going to be quite difficult. Surely you want to peace out now, right? You don't, motherfuckers. Oh, they're fighting Arketa as well. Alright, we can embrace the institution. Goods produced is a really nice modifier to have. But I also feel like it's almost there in most of the holds. Wait, Gorbred doesn't have a manufactory? That is a mad misplay on my behalf. Also, can I just point out, Grombar now owns Amaldir. That's vile. And they're my rival. Wait, you let fucking Verkal Gulen get sieged by particularists? Oh, you bloody clown. Come on, time to peace out. I can take one war score. That'll do a bit better. What was that? You were going to give me 19. Right, that makes more sense. Alright. You can go back to there. How to beat up the Grey Oak? Yes. Am I supposed to keep the mages or to keep them because my ruler is a mage? I feel like I kept them because my ruler is a mage. Anyway, peace out with you. Take all the land. Oh, them borders are looking sick. We very much enjoy those borders. You know what? I want to go up to 60 galleys now. Oh, 60 galleons. Same. Still probably not enough to make this my main trade capital. I am collecting there, though. Not full states, though. True. I would have to take this. This, but that would make it ugly, so I'd then have to take Ariellan as well. I'm still happy with what I got. Fuck it. It's fine. Tell you what, I have enough money now to either centralize my hold operations, rebuild the Great Dam. I want to do the event, the Joker Dam. I've never actually done it before. The blueprints are done, and we can start the construction of the beauty that will be the Jorkad Dam. Hells yeah. I'll also rebuild Dwarvar Rail, because naturally. And we're also going to go back to Dwarvarod 24. Actually, wait, go back. This needs upgrading 1 level. There we go. So, now, Yidablerun. Let's go back there. We will send all 10,000. I'm going to actually raise the morale 1. Org is going to go up 3x. And supplies are, of course, going to be going up as well. And I'm going to put party share at 100 because that makes the morale go down slower. Alright, let's go then. If I centralize, you need to dev all the holds yourself, right? I don't know. I don't know, I've not done it before. Also, I feel like this track just restarted. That'll work. Military leader left. Grab a new one. Nah, I guess they're fine. We now stand at the precipice of Yidab's domain. Before we press on, we're taking the time to properly prepare, sharpening weapons and preparing magical strolls. Before long, there's little to do. Go fight! I believe that's how it works. You get to dig every hold yourself, but you also don't get the free dev between the levels. I didn't know we got free dev anyway. Also, we're at like 101, so I'm not sure I really need to do much more deving. There she is, our mark. The ravenous brood mother Yidab, mother of all spiders, master of the Underdark. She seems engrossed in her meal, which unfortunately appears to be some of her comrades. Time to strike is now before she spots us. So, the centaurs in the spine, Kuranuleg up here. This is not the spine. This is just a cavern. Unless it's somewhere else that I haven't seen. I think that's it. Is that monument / adventure new? This broodmother one? I don't know. It's the first time I've come across it. Non-capital holds will auto-dev to the next dig level? Will they really? I had no idea about that. So, I am going to cast enchantment magic upon myself. See if this one works. Though some carefully quiet chanting, our wizards have managed to prepare some discreet spells to buff the frontline warriors during early parts of our upcoming fight. Splendid. There's also if you've played or watched me play, I guess, Baldur's Gate 3, there's a really fun spider fight in Act 1 this is kind of reminding me of a bit. Ah! That's a lot. We'll do this one first. There she is, our mark. Oh, let's also prepare traps. Pair of rogues, careful to avoid any protruding webbing, skillfully prepare several fire, oil, and pitfall traps, ready to make short work of the broodmother and her brood. Graham Glass Grinder is late. He'd promised to deliver his new magnifier prototype to the Enlightened 10 more than a week ago. Incensed by other apparent waste of state funds by the gnome, a group of soldiers was sent to forcibly bring him before the council with clear orders that would either present an invention, or be sentenced to hard labour to work off his debts. However, upon arriving at his residence, they found a ruined and gutted dwelling with glass ground and nowhere to be seen. Following a tip from a neighbour, he was located wandering deliriously on a nearby road, necessitating a temporary halt to supply services to retrieve him. On the way back to the capital, he appeared to regain his senses and beg for forgiveness. As he tells it, he'd only been unable to deliver on his previous inventions, as a cartel of powerful artificers had forced him to pay them regular stipends in exchange for protection. These same artificers had threatened him into silence, taken credit for his inventions, and when he took on the newest project hoping to complete it without them knowing, they tore his dwelling apart and stole his prototypes, including the working magnification device. Naturally, we did not believe these convenient excuses at first, but after enough grovelling, we gave in and began to interview other scientists who had received state funding. Quickly, we discovered that many were elusive, visibly nervous, and even some broke down into tears upon questioning. The very same artificers had been siphoning state funds from our scientists for years, taking advantage of their meek and eccentric nature to avoid detection. Those scientists who have confessed to being victimized have been returned to their dwellings with empty promises of protection, and orders to remain silent for now. We cannot afford to make any overt moves against a cartel controlling an unknown number of Orghelovar's foremost researchers, as their knowledge is of critical importance to our nation. We must quickly yet stealthily investigate this cartel and determine the extent of their control before they realize anything is amiss. New developments after some time. I need a drink. That'll do. What I'd really love to do is a proper long-term D&D campaign using the Anbennar 1444-ish world situation, as I said. Me too. I would absolutely adore that. I think, I'm not sure if exactly 1444, but I think somewhere where Escan is starting to be a bit united, instead of it being the adventuring companies. Like, some of them would have congealed into their constituent states. Like, Esthil, I think, would be awesome to have in a D&D campaign. Basically just that one especially would be, like, super, super cool. But yeah, definitely, I think, it would be good. It has to start in Animal Class? I actually don't think so. I think a great place to start a D&D campaign would actually be Nathaler. It's similarly a very urbanized city on an island, which means the starting situation of your D&D campaign can be all about, the players can't just be like, oh yes, we're just going to get on we're just going to start walking in any direction. Like, they are on this island. It's a pirate-ish kind of island as well, so there's a lot of, city of pirates. So there's probably a good bit of stuff to do there. And, I think you could definitely have a lot of fun there, because this whole swampy area is full of gnolls. Gnolls are a pretty decent early game threat for players. And honestly, obviously, it depends on what kind of campaign you're going for. But going into Escan to deal with the likes of Esthil, going into the mines as, maybe a dwarf has just managed to found a hold. Maybe every hold is, been founded and they're all got their own special shit going on. I think there's just a lot of really interesting things you could do. Am I attached to criminal cities in my D&D campaigns? Not really, though I will say the D&D campaign that I'm in right now has been going for about 3 years, and we did start off on an island called Retbury. And we spent a good probably 30 sessions on that island before we left it. Maybe a few less than that, maybe like 20 sessions. And no other city has really come close to that level of depth as Retbury. You think a Great Marches campaign in Escan Northern Pass could be fun? Love to do a D&D campaign set in Halles with the spirit rending. That would be fucking cool too. That would be really cool. I think if I was going to be playing in a D&D campaign in the Anbennar setting, I'd really want the DM, and it wouldn't be me because I. First of all, I have ADHD. That makes being a DM harder. Not impossible, but harder. But secondly, I have dyspraxia, which makes D&D just hard in general. I feel like as a DM, you need to have pretty good memory, and my memory, thanks to my dyspraxia, is not very good, to put it lightly. Put it exceptionally lightly. But I would want the DM to be very strict on what races players were allowed to pick. Because I feel like it would not be... If we were starting a D&D campaign and, you know, I chose a halfling hailing from BPEC, and another player had chosen a human hailing from Telgear, and another player had chosen an elf hailing from somewhere in Bulwa, and then the fourth player was a fucking goblin. I feel like that's just not gonna work. Like, goblins, orcs, centaurs, I feel like those... The more exotic races, I just don't... Exotic/evil races just don't work in this setting for a D&D campaign, in my opinion. I think you could probably get away with a Haramari, for sure. Kobold, also, you could probably get away with it as well. Depends on the year, sure. Maybe a gold scale kobold, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, a kobold can, you know, join the campaign that starts in Nathalar, and it's like, oh, so you're from the Dragon Coast, or you're from, you know, Darkscape. No, I'm from frickin' Zerdgonfa, or I'm from bloody Balregia. You know, that kind of thing would be pretty cool. But yeah, that's basically what I would say. Or that old Canadian D&D thing when one guy rejoins an ongoing game but lost his character sheet, so he created a rogue called Boba Fett. I wouldn't be... I'm not a fan of joke characters, to be honest. I like D&D to be a bit more straight-faced, I guess. Like, the D&D character that I currently play, if I can... just bring him up because he's beautiful and he's mine. I play this guy right here. He is a tiefling of Drow descent called Valmire. Obviously, you can tell it's mine because it has my dragon head as the weapon. Lovely art been drawn for it. And there's a couple of other art pieces that I've got of him as well. Like this one and my favorite one. This one! I've shown these off a couple of times before, but this is my beautiful, beautiful boy. Yeah, I quite like tieflings. But tieflings aren't really well, they do exist in Anbennar, and I think in the Corentar missions or events there is a mention of tieflings. They're just not on the map because there is just not enough of them to be the majority in any province. And I think the same goes for half-elves. They're just not enough of a majority of them. Water isn't his... That's a fact! Yes! You know him! Yes! My man is quite afraid of water. Drowning, specifically. It's not his vibe. It's just not his vibe. He's got rabies. No, I mean, he can drink water. He doesn't like drowning is the thing. There she is, our Mark, the ravenous brood mother. She seems to be engrossed in her meal, which unfortunately appears to be our comrades. Time to strike us now before she spots us. Let's go. Tieflings are like elemental touch in Sarhol. There are some, but not even for being a minority. How exactly did he end up being on an island? He was on the coastline of an island, and then he was captured, and they basically knocked him out and brought him to the island. And that was how the campaign started, with everyone in the party having a sack taken off the taken off their heads. But this was like, damn, like 3 years ago, maybe? Like 2021? With a burst of speed, the party rushes forward to face a deadly foe. She rears back, clearly taken by surprise, but quickly regaining her composure and hissing in defiance. We must make our move. I'm gonna use the trap we prepared. That seems like a good idea. Gundabad gets some experience. As the beast charges into our forces, we trigger the trap set up by our rogues. Dozens of barrels filled with oil and gunpowder fall upon Yadab's head, stopping her attack and leaving her greatly wounded. Yes! 1 morale. Let's go. Hey, Transmutation Legendary. I know we're in the middle of a little bit of a fight with Yadab, but let's start a homunculus project. Gonna do male homunculus. Do I want trolls? I do like +1 yearly prestige, though. For 5 years, that's huge. Anyway, to crush the Artificer cartels thoroughly and completely, knowledge of their inner workings and organization structure is necessary. At first, the scientists we knew to be affected by the cartel were reluctant to speak to us, still fearful of retribution. Luckily, we can manipulate them, as well as the cartels had, with promises of new research grants and promotions. They quickly broke and confessed all they knew. In particular, Graham Glassgrinder provided us with the location of a branch housing the ringleaders and blueprints for their improvised defense mechanisms in exchange for only our promise to retrieve his magnification prototype. Using this and other knowledge gleaned from their victims, we positioned small detachments of elite soldiers outside every Artificer branch we knew to have ties with extorting cartels. At dawn, we struck. Moving swiftly, we apprehended the leaders of each society and pacified the members with little resistance, allowing them no time to use their ad hoc defensive contraptions and without spilling a drop of blood. What we found within was staggering. Evidence of not only a coordinated and extremely profitable extortion operation targeting hundreds of our scientists, but plans to stage an open rebellion and wrest control of state research from the Enlightened Ten. Once all those indicted by this evidence were safely on their way to our jails, we kept our promises and began restoring the cartel's victims to the newly vacant positions. Without Graham Glassgrinder's information, we could not have completed this operation bloodlessly, and accordingly we kept our promise with him, too, and allowed him a personal detachment of guards to search for his stolen invention, quickly found being used as a paperweight on the desk of a long-time rival of Glassgrinder's, and returned to him mostly intact. Now he asks only that we grant him time to finish his invention, which he's named a microscope, and we're all too happy to oblige. New missions! So, I need to investigate the society. Artificer loyalty needs to go up. Artificer influence needs to go up. Provinces in the Hold province group have less than 10 infantry. I need to... No province have less than 10. Okay, so I need to have 10 in every hold. That's doable. I think that's good. Alright, and how do I make the Artificers more happy? Okay, so we're already at the influence. Oh, it needs to be lower than 40. Lower than 40 influence is fucking hard. How in the tits am I gonna do that? loyalty high, influence low is fucking insanely difficult. Because I've given shit tons of stuff out. Receding from our onslaught, Yadeb crawls back to the far reaches of the cave and begins to spin what appears to be a ball of webbing. Charge with fire and blade. Charging towards the beast, torch and sword in hand, we're able to understand the spider's plan. Stick us to each other with the web. As she fires a ball of web towards us, many of us are able to avoid the attack and reach the spider, cutting her to the deep. However, due to the flammability of the webs, our torches end up setting fire to the still, burning our soldiers. Well, they paid the price. I don't care about orcs, go away. Core ideas per self's the best choice. Yeah, maybe should have taken core ideas. I have no idea how I'm going to be able to do this. I am also missing a hold, I think. Oh yeah, here. As we recover from Yadab's attempt to snare us in our web, the beast starts to circle our forces. From her fangs, dark green liquid starts dripping onto the floor as we realize the monster intends to poison us. Prepare an anti-venom. As Yadab sprays her poison upon our forces, all seems lost, but our troops begin to writhe in pain from the venom's effect. A brave cleric is able to use a combination of magic and alchemy to stop the poison's effects upon the troops. While it's too late for some, knowing we have a tool to use against the monster's attacks leaves us reinvigorated and ready to fight back. Blessed. As the battle against Yadab drags on, it becomes clearer and clearer we have a real chance at defeating the beast. However, it seems Yadab realizes this as well, as the monster suddenly opens up one of the humongous egg sacs lying within our cave, releasing a swarm of spiderlings in our direction. With her brood spelling mistake between herself and her forces, Yadab retreats to the depths of the cave. Fight the swarm! Though the spiderling swarm was massive, clever use of magic and fire were able to wipe most of them out without much issue. Blessed. I'll get that admin points. Wait, there's no thing here either. Fun. I'm just gonna pay for it. Alliance offer from Crack Doomroar. I mean, if I can vassalize you, maybe. Nope. I need to increase the loyalty. Oh my god, it's up to 80 now. And to get their loyalty up purely so that I can revoke privileges. Following Yadab to the back of the cave, we reach a tall cavern chamber with tunnels jutting out from the cave walls in all heights. Knowing Yadab went into one of these tunnels, but not which one, we must find Yadab quickly before she's able to get the drop on us. Magic. We'll find her. As our mages prepare to cast a spell to locate the creature, we remain in place, waiting in alert for what might come next. Minutes pass without incident, and as our nerves begin to calm, the threat is seemingly gone. Our mages retrieving a horrifying result to their spells. Another spelling mistake. Yadab is right above us. With that revelation, we scramble to protect ourselves, just in time for Yadab to drop down and start wreaking havoc within our forces. However, with these few crucial seconds of forewarning, we're able to ward off the beast's attack and harm it greatly. Let's go! After thwarting her ambush, we lay in battle with Yadab for countless minutes. Though our losses are great, we hurt the beast greatly. The battle seems like ours to win. However, realizing her precarious position, Yadab, in a desperate maneuver, flees our forces out of the chamber and into one of the many tunnels dotting the chamber of our flight. Unlike last time, it does not seem like the creature is setting up for a sneak attack, but rather fleeing for our life. Whatever the case, victory is ours, and Yadab's nest is now ours to rule. Nice. Get the thing that allows you to revoke regardless of loyalty? Full espionage in a special Gavar form. Where would it be? Called We Are a Republic. What tier? Or do you mean We Are a Republic as in we're not able to get that Gavar form? I mean, we do have full espionage. Fuck's sake. I don't know how I'm going to get rid of this. Armies of the New Warfare. Is there something in here? No. But I feel like I can now go to specialized troops. Only got me an extra 10. Fuck me. Man, that is such an asshole of a fucking thing. I don't really want to use the console, but fuck me. Having this in the middle of a mission tree where it just appears like it's a hidden mission that you literally cannot prepare for fucking blows so much ass. I don't know what to do. I really would rather not use console. Man, that sucks. I'm trying to think of what else I can possibly do. What are the other options? Like, how am I gonna do this? I can sell titles to get 10. Seizing land does fucking nothing, because they only have 0.4% from land share. 10 grand, holy. Oh, what an absolute bloody ball ache! Wag, why did you make it like this? Change some Gavar forms around. Yeah, let's try that. Alright, so... Is some place you can check what mods I'm using? Okay, so... I can just link it, I think, because I don't think I've got a doodad set up with it. There you go. That's the mod I'm using. It's called NII's graphical pack made by Natus Inignis. I can't get rid of separation of power. Not only the problem is, none of these are actually going to affect the artificers. Literally none of them affect the artificers. All estates loyalty equilibrium. Okay, I think maintain balance. We'll do that one. That's all I can do right now. What's armies of new warfare? What is armies of new warfare? Is that something in here? Looking at all the names of everything. I have a modifier called Armies of New Warfare, lowering... Oh, it's probably one of these. There. So this is lowering their loyalty by 10. But to revoke it, I need to have their loyalty up, and it'll remove it by 20. So dumb. Don't think there's any policies that'll help either. No. Try and get the nobility high enough that I can revoke. Do I even have it on? Maybe I don't have it on. I just need to get the artificers loyal enough. This would help get them, if we need to, then we can do the +10 there. I'd rather wait until that's like the last thing. Vinazan, the second daughter of Asmira the Zin and Argizena, was taught the mastery of all basic metals such as copper, tin, lead, pewter, bronze, brass, and others of their kind. Her artistry skills were unmatched, and she could create lifelike or even living statues from the metals and alloys of her domain. Her creations served as magnificent guards, and during the era of diminishing, when Setsavar's children attempted to steal the precious metals of the earth, it was her artworks that prevented them from inhabiting what would become King's Rock. She is revered as the patron of all common smiths, and her likeness can often be found in statues or sculptures in their guild halls. Cool. God, it's such a ball ache. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm really kind of annoyed that that was added. I'm not gonna lie. That's a real dick move. It's like, oh, I've just unlocked all of these really cool artifice things. I'm gonna do so many of them. And then it's like, yeah, but if you do, you can go fuck yourself. Cheers. Good 5% goods produced in all of my land. Very nice. I'd have to hope for something in here, maybe. Speed up digging the capital instantly, deepen a passive hold. That's pretty cool. Purge the monsters. Inspire people to take up arms, okay. Blesses us with stability, that's kind of cool. Stability. Disband rebellions. Instill loyalty and control in the realm. Tempting. Reveal a new expedition. I like it. All right, I think we'll try that. I think we'll try a doodad one. Still the right pain in the balls, though. Wait, there's another expedition here? Why when I hovered over to this to say there was one here? Give it a monthly tick. Says there's one there. There just isn't. Alright, either way. I'm gonna go do that one. Oh. You're gonna stay where you are, though. Corvus Umbrog is... Oh, let's go! This is the Artificer one, isn't it? Loyalty plus 10, yes. It needs to be dig level 3. Okay, we need to dig this bitch. Where are we at right now? We are dig level 1. We need to get to 40. Okay. Happily. No! Okay. I've opened Reddit. I require the Serpent's Rot guide. Actually, is it on my Discord? Did I pin it? I imagine I might have pinned it. Serpent's Rot guide. Found it. Such a terribly made guide, but it's probably gonna work. So, yeah. The disease which has been ravaging the Dwarven continues to take Wait, what do you mean continues? What do you mean continues? This is the fucking first that I've heard of it. Oh shit, Serpent's Rot is ruining the north. At least I didn't fucking spawn it. But yeah, it's not going down here. Like, it's not even in Ahara's Orderlim. It's going down these roads, though. But it's kind of like been... You know what? We're just going to skip to Orghelovar. Very cool. Thanks, game. Oh, unless that means Orghelovar the country. In which case, it's just appeared here for the first time. Okay. Serpent's Rot continues to spread. Mass graves, blah, 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 blah. We will focus on the sick. Because it's not magic. But I don't see this. Have they changed it? Or focus on the sick anyway. If they've changed it to make it harder, yeah, that would suck. Homunculus, I'm gonna imbue it with my own essence. As the country rapidly descends into chaos, we must act quickly in order to move forward. Okay, open this thing back up again. So, look for clues or burn them all. We don't burn. As far as I remember, burning them is bad. Look for clues in the corpses. I want the biggest hint. I mean, I have a whole ass sheet. Though, I don't know if they've changed it. Oh, okay, so Serenvar took one province. Fair enough. When you get the option, choose the common mushroom. Okay. Frizz fungi is the one. Alright, homunculus, let's go. It's so annoying that the entire mission tree is locked behind this shit. This sucks so hard. Like, for fuck's sake, Wagensu. Oh, fucking hell, start, it's in here. Research, yes, do it. We're gonna do a poll. Where's the poll doodad? Manage poll. New poll. Duration of like 5 minutes or something. Alright, there you go. People can vote on whether to cheat or not. Oh, I don't know. It sucks so hard. It sucks so fucking hard. Yeah, I know the console command. Scomdeer holds specialization. I don't think I have a military one yet, so we're gonna go with military. After several investigations, it seemed the plague causes the blood of the victims to literally rot from within, assaulting the host's internal organs, causing itching, suffocating, vomiting, bloody diarrhea before killing its victim, drowning in their own rotten blood. Very cute. Now we want to study... Ooh, Ernavir has been done. And I will repair the hold as well. Now, Cobalt Dwarf. Very nice. Deity can be selected. We're going to go with... We're going to wait until I can get trade efficiency. No. Advisor cost. Gorbarad has dug deeper. Oh! Chest and deer hold is finished digging. Nice. Alright, so... From here... quarantine zone or short main time. Okay, so this is short main time to happen. Losing stab. This one's longer main time to happen, and you lose dev apparently. So we're gonna experiment on the sick. Lose a lot of money. Why not? Oh, Jesus. So here I want an advisor. Don't care about goblins. Don't care about prestige. The vote is pretty conclusive, like 90% in favor of cheating. So we're gonna fix a little bit of influence. That allows us to cheat a little bit. And we're going to do the one, this one here. And we can do one more. $10 influence for fucking Diplo rep? I don't care about Diplo rep. Perfect is the enemy of good we can get rid of as well. Okay, and now we just need to get their loyalty up. Alright, here. Force limit modifier could be nice. Discipline does seem like the strongest one, though. Inflation reduction, actually. Right now it's going down, but it's because we have a guy. Not needing to have the guy would be nice. But I think, obviously, like, discipline is huge. Go discipline. The loyalty 60, influence lower than 40. We're currently at 45. We can get to 54 equilibrium, so when that goes up, we'll be able to get rid of another one. And then it'll go up again to 54, and then from 54 we can sell to get to 64, and then we're good. Jokehead Dam is complete! No, it isn't. First stage is complete. Now the second stage must be done, which is another 12,500 ducats. Because of fucking course it is. Four stages of 12,500. Jesus, pissing Christ. Kind of wild. Oh, hang on. New event. So, mages and doctors are organizing a medical expedition to Dwarven 10. I mean, yeah, we'll send them 100 ducats to try and help, sure. Serpents Row outbreak plus 75%. Is that everywhere? Because, no. Do I have Serpents Row everywhere? No, it's only in the north. Why is the cheapest thing then got Serpents Row? I got Serpents Row outbreak giving me plus 75% everywhere. There it is. All power cost plus 7.5 and dev cost plus 75%. I need to spend my fucking mill points somewhere else. I mean, financing excessive research, probably a good thing, right? Sure. I mean, I have to. Good enough for now. Republican tradition? Yeah, I suppose I could have done that. It's really shit, the amount that you get, though. Suppose a bunch of them can drill down, though. This new resume button on the launcher is pretty poggers. That resume button has been there for an exceptionally long time. Mithril medium. Party share can be 100. Never seen it before installing mods. Oh, okay. But yeah, it's been there for quite some time now. Some members of parliament are having some concerns regarding increasingly bad reputation. I'm a witch king. Fuck off. Question has been raised numerous times in the past, but not many have thought of any consequence. The time of the matter is causing heated debates. It's really... I mean, I'd rather spend the money, though. Gain a morale or supplies. I'm getting morale. Will Project Caesar have a resume button? We might find out tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow we're going to learn about migrations. I doubt launcher secrets are going to be a thing that we learn about. If I'm being honest. Seems a little bit unlikely. Alright, so here... Study the sample is longer mean time to happen. Run experiments, short mean time to happen. Yeah. Run experiments. Further research. Yeah, I'll give you the most money. I'll go into debt for this shit. Sure, why not? Alright, we're at 200, so we're gonna grab advisor cost person. Ehegrim's Mausoleum. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we get from Project Caesar tomorrow. I was thinking there might have been a excuse me, some kind of update today. I'm gonna get that crown land. Alright, and here we do the thing that I fucking hate again! Yay! Republican tradition. Conscription is fine. Honestly, giving monarch points right now is also fine. Corruption is fine. Impressment is always fine. Autonomy is fine. Minting is fine. I don't want to do progress. Prestige is fine. Getting Hearth Priest is fine. System sucks so much ass. It's so bad. Like, fuck. 181 seat. Yeah, because the meta is adding everywhere to a parliament seat. Because parliament gives so much good shit. The manpower, the taxes, the production. Like, it's... Every time you play parliament, I ask yourself why aren't the repeated buttons concentrated. Agreed. Agreed. Fucking fat agreed. Just, I don't know, something, because it's just such ass. There's no redeeming qualities. It's just fucking terrible. What was the consolidation end? Okay. God, my generals suck as well. So different to playing the command. Command, all of my generals are like absolutely legitimately amazing. Artifice, I can get rid of another thing now. Right, now your equilibrium is... Tempting. A high loyalty, low influence. Grand Exhibition could be fine to do. Command Rule is your third favorite tag. It's what I'm playing in the current Wednesday multiplayer. And I'm quite enjoying it. Ernat Veer has been restored. Fantastic. Oh, dig. Not sure why there's some places I can dig and some places I can't. Court and country is happening. We are pretty advanced in the game. President, no! Gone to bed! My man's was a 666. Usually live up to 200 years. Soon it'll be time for him to die. I feel like this old age event kills people in 7-hour right now. I feel like it might be a bug. Anyway, I'm going to keep the 666 for as long as possible. Is there any spells that I want to cast before I die? Could just plant growth the fucking world. Or any enchantment spells? Charm them fucking estates! Good boy, Gundabad. With your dying breath, you're like, no, fuck those estates, bro. I could even go undead army. I don't think life drain is going to happen. Life drain gives you mana. Yeah, life drain myself. Got my Vorpal bullets, though. Typically, a firearm will make use of a ball, a roughly spherical metal object designed to kill whoever it pierces. Usually works as intended, as armor does little to prevent one of these balls from punching through the wearer due to high velocity of the shot. As time has proceeded onwards, shots being blocked by armor has become enough of a recurring incident that it cannot be denied. Ebon steel, when prepared correctly, can sustain several shots before its structure is damaged. The creation of a shot that can effectively pierce this armor has become necessary. Vorpal Bullet seems poised to fix all these issues. Featuring an experimental pointed shape, the Vorpal Bullet is able to focus all its force behind its fire on a single pinpoint shot, creating an impact vastly more forceful than a regular ball. Additionally, its shape has a particular quality where it appears to move quickly through the air, improving its odds of hitting on target. I feel like somebody who doesn't know how guns work wrote this, if I'm being honest. Goods produced, that's nice. I mean, they're all kind of bad, but I'll go with that one. Yeah, Gundabad is who's been in charge of everything in Orghelovar. I guess we go with the 225. He's gonna get +2 skills. Oh yeah, Death of a Witch King as well. Forgot about that. Well, I am a 336. Hopefully with good stats. Where the fuck did you come from? You slap? Yeah, whatever. Wait until the generals die. I don't need to fire anyone. Republican traditions, not bad, actually. A copper monument. Ah, yes. Very based. Very based indeed. Yeah, that needs to get... Equilibrium is for 59. So basically, I need to get it to... When it gets to 50, then we can probably do this again. But yeah, that is such a ridiculously shit mission. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it. It's the first one where it's been like, yeah, why would you? It's just a dick move, really. Not a fan of that one. Where are these upgraded rails? Do they look different? Next time I get one of those events popping up, I'm gonna have a look. Ah, bloody balls. Let's upgrade the Jawcad Dam again. Pursue the construction! I like money. Don't like orcs, get them out of my country. What I need is this one to be dug deeper. If this gets dug deeper, then I can start upgrading the vault hold. It's only at dig level 1, so I need to get it to like 50 dev. Time to start purging gobos. We are. We are already. Oh, we're also purging orcs. Yes, we're doing both at the same time. Old Jawcad is now level 3. The only son of Asmira the Zen and Argazena, Dolurazan was taught mastery of the black metal such as iron, wrought, and cast steel, and adamantine, and titanium. In time, he created the arms and armor of the gods and their servants in the era of war. During the Giant Break Wars, one of his arms was severed by a fire giant kin when he was captured. His mother freed him from captivity and forged a new arm as a replacement. He's seen as a patron of all blacksmiths, and many of our smiths now keep small shrines to him on their forges. Very cool. Don't suppose he's one in here, is he? Oh, he is. Dolurazan, there he is. That's very cool. Shock damage received. Fire damage is also really nice. Where did goblins come from in lore? I actually don't know the answer to that. Wait, I do know the answer to that. This fuck made it. Grobilazg. Grobilazg created the first goblinoids. A god of the Dwarven pantheon created the first goblinoids. We are expelling both, not per same thing in the end of the day. $0.25 a month. 7 times 4, 28. It's going to be 28 months to get it over 50. Apparently I had war taxes on for the fucking entire game. I had no idea. Rather silly of me. I don't know what to spend my admin points on. Maybe I should just, like, take the next tech so I can get the idea group. Fuck it. My next idea group is going to be dip anyway. I guess we go court. Purging is considerably faster, but costs a dipper. Yeah, but it also costs more development. Let's go with shock damage received. When's the next step of this fucking Serpent's Rot thing coming around? Thankfully, it hasn't reached the majority of my holds. Like, it's in 3 holds right now. Mithridum, Ernat-Vir, and Cozinad. I think we've just gotten... Yeah, we've got Grumhardrenim. Which is annoying, because these are great. This one's amazing. It's produced in area. Imagine if this was in the same area. Imagine if this was here, in the Jorkad Junction, and it could help out whole Jorkad, or literally anywhere with a hold. It'd be so fucking good. What seems like days, the expedition has been travelling down to the bowels of the earth. Down and down, following what was once a spiralling stone staircase, now a smooth slope of stone, worn the passage of time and countless feet. The only sounds are the echoing of footsteps and clattering of supplies, and each man concentrates on keeping his balance. So preoccupied are the men they can hardly notice until mere feet away. Great gleaming set of steel doors set into the stone wall. The doors are pristine, intricately engraved and polished, so bright that the torchlight after days of exploration in low light, they're difficult to look at directly. Surrounding the doors are an intricate set of gears and levers, beautifully crafted and apparently free of debris. Lark squints at the runes repeated across the doors, mouthing them aloud as he translates. Grumhardum, it reads Grunhardum, he calls out. At this, a ripple passes through the gathered expeditionaries. Many have heard of the stories of a legendary forge of Grumhardum, said to have armoured every hero and high king of Old Dwarf. It was often rumoured that the craftsmen of Grumhardum lived for 2 lifetimes, as a lifetime of expertise was necessary even to be granted the privilege of working there. Few believe the legends referred to a real place, and of those, none thought it might still be intact in any form, millennia after the fall of Old Dwarf. Rumours and stories spread through the gathered men like wildfire, eventually forcing the leader of the expedition to intervene to restore order. Many wish to attempt to enter the forge now, or at least crack open the doors to glimpse the wonders inside. However, the men are tired and lacking supplies. As much as it pains the leader too, he knows they must return home for now. The wonders of Grumhardum have survived until now. They can wait for one more expedition. So yeah. Need to do 1 exploration, but yeah, it sucks that the goods produced in areas, yeah. But I do quite like regiment cost -10. Dwarves can't even get that thing without a monarchy. Ah, fair. Even if they had a monarchy, fair enough. Nice. $84 out of 34, goddamn. All estates loyalty equilibrium, so now you're going to go up faster. 0.29 a month now. Oh, but their influence went up again as well. High production income. You having a fucking laugh? It needs to be lower, not lower than or equal to, so I need to get rid of another fucking thing. Absolute horse. Arsenal of National Development. That's you. Man, I have to get rid of it. Equilibrium at 70, though. Eventually, we'll fucking get there. Such an absolute shit of a mission. kills your momentum. Dead. It's a good job I have other things to be doing. Oh, I ran out of diplo points. Yeah, you know what? 132 is probably fine. Upon reaching the end of the maze of tunnels and the winding staircase marked on the map, the scouts suddenly stop. As the rest of the expedition pushes past them, it becomes clear why. Before them stands the great steel gates of Grimhardum. Grimhardum. Still resplendent and majestic as it was when it was abandoned, just as the previous expedition had reported. Filled with hope that the great forge had been spared the destruction that befell all else in the Serpentspine, several forward scouts attempt to push the great doors apart to gain entry. Soon there's a line of men pushing upon the doors in unison, but to no avail. The gate remains still and silent. We'll use grease. With one last push and barely a whisper, the great gates swing open and the expedition hurries inside. As the gates close behind the last man, everyone relaxes. The finely crafted doors are still unblemished and will provide a bulwark against any creatures attempting to sneak in from the rear. Beyond the threshold, the walls of the entrance corridor are covered in pipes and more carvings, but unlike the door, these are blackened by soot and grime. The floor is likewise filthy, littered with metal and bone scraps, the unmistakable signs of goblin infestation. Grimly but resolutely, the expedition moves towards the flickering orange light that illuminates the end of the corridor. I think these things, these expeditions, especially the special ones, would be so fucking cool to do as a D&D campaign as well. Like, imagine, say we were talking before about starting a campaign here. Imagine one of the things you do when you go in to the Serpentspine. And you don't even need to enter from here. But, say you do. Say you've done a bunch of missions in Escan, then you come back down, and you get to Orghelovar, and you find that Argordston has retaken a bunch of the Serpentspine. And then they send you out on a expedition, because, oh, by the way, in, frickin', I don't know, Chopper's Cavern, we discovered something cool. So I need you to go and check it out. So you get sent into Chopper's Cavern, and then you start doing this fucking Grimhardum expedition in D&D. Be so fucking cool. Be so fucking cool. Like, all of the special ones, Lefon Lambrathar, fucking Yibbalaboom, nailed that pronunciation, Grimhardum, like, they all work so well. It feels like they were D&D campaigns that got converted, really. Over my gov cap, so how about we build town halls? Bear with me, this may take a while. Even with an auto clicker. As the expedition approaches the end of the corridor, the temperature continues to rise. Soldiers sweat and shift in their heavy armor, looking enviously at the airy robes and simple leather armor afforded to others. Rounding a corner and entering the forge proper, a cavernous circular room bathed in orange light opens up before them. Magma flows and drips from pipes running the length of the room, running to and from the great pit in the center of the room. So wide is the pit that when combined with the heat haze present, nobody can see across it to the other side clearly. Some of the braver scouts venture to the edge, peering over it to see a great cauldron far below, suspended by huge chains, with each link thicker than a man's torso. There are also simple metal elevators hanging haphazardly below, intended to bring workers to levels below this one, but they appear to be stuck and are out of reach for now. The floor is strewn with soot and debris. All kinds of metal, bone, and cloth and food scraps lie everywhere. Looking up, a giant dome is far above, funneling steam and other vapors into a huge hole at the apex. In the shadow cast by the dome, rusty metal scaffolding and rickety ladders lead to nooks populated with glowing, unblinking eyes. Equidistant around the walls are carved stone doorways leading into miscellaneous rooms and antechambers, some with dedicated pipes serving them. As the scouts return to report what they saw to the rest of the expedition, one steps upon a discarded sheet of pig iron. A screech of alarm rings out, and suddenly brown arms grab their ankle. There's a feral goblin sleeping underneath it. Abandoning caution, the scouts sprint back to the main party as more goblins pour from the surrounding rooms and form around the pit. There's barely enough time for the expedition to close ranks around the scouts before the goblins crash into them. Hold the line! Using the narrow entrance corridor as a choke point, the feral goblins' charge was quickly broken upon the expedition's shields and spears with a few casualties from the defenders. As the remaining goblins turn tail and flee, it becomes apparent that the goblins' fallen brethren have brought quite a haul. Most were kitted in crudely modified armor and wielding weapons sourced from inside the forge. Even after so many years of misuse, these pieces are finely crafted and would fetch a high price from collectors. Nice. Right, you've been upgraded. Advanced Dwarven rail. Supply limit of 117 is like higher than most holds. Maybe not. Certainly not. Never mind, but it's still fucking great. I need to get a statesman. I'm still waiting on this fucking thing. Serpent's Rot needs to continue. With the immediate danger past, the expedition huddles together in an antechamber near the entrance to plan their next move. The untouched levels below are tantalizingly close, but they cannot continue until all the remaining squatters have been eradicated. The mages and scouts of the expedition present the leader with the options for which to deal with first. High above, they have identified the eyes in the shadowed nooks and occasional echoing cries of those giant cave bats. The bats are even larger than normal, and what little of them can be seen as a distinctive reddish tint, leading several mages to suggest they may have been mutated by residual magics of the forge. If the swarm is not dealt with swiftly, careless action could bring them down upon the expedition. Somewhere on the same level as the expedition is a lair of feral goblins that first assailed them. The remains of the feral goblins' charge will have retreated there for safety, as the strongest goblins will be lounging about in the comfort of the lair. The lair will also contain the feral goblins' clan boss choice of loot scavenged from the forge. Cleansing the feral goblins will reward the expedition with these spoils, but it's impossible to know yet just how many lurk within the lair. Lastly, a platform hangs between this level and the next, surrounded on all sides by pipes. Judging by the various valves, dials, and levers, the area was used to control the flow of liquids through the many pipes in the forge. Most of the controls are in disrepair, and those appear serviceable are covered by magma leaking from weakened pipe junctions. If the flow of magma into the upper levels can be disabled, it will prevent further dangerous leaks from the pipes above. Again, mages caution that the unstable magics of the forge are likely to have spawned magma oozes wherever magma leaks. These cannot be separated from regular magma without closer inspection. Let's bring down the bats first. In the antechamber, a debate rages among the expedition about how best to handle the bats. One fireball and the whole swarm will be set alight, argues a trigger-happy mage. We won't even have to fight them. The idea is quickly vetoed by the leader of the scouts. Are you crazy? You're bringing the whole scaffold down on us. Before the mage can snap a response, he continues. Besides, this whole place is hotter than a dragon's armpit. Those bats probably eat magma for breakfast. What if your fireball makes them stronger? Then we'll be fighting giant flaming bats. After several more minutes, the expedition leader steps in to make the final decision. No fireballs. As some of the less disciplined mages sulk, he organizes a group of armored soldiers and light archers to face off the bats, leaving the rest of the expedition to hunker down in the antechamber and wait. The plan is simplicity itself. Soldiers will stand in loose square around the archers, ready to protect them from any swooping bats. As of now, the swarm has not been alerted, so the first strike is key to the whole operation. The archers have been instructed to aim for the glowing eyes in the darkness, calling out their target's position quietly to ensure no bat is targeted twice. Once all the archers have identified a target, they will fire on the lead archer's mark, hopefully killing or disabling most of the swarm before they can even get close. Even without their great numbers, the remaining bats may still be dangerous, but their leathery wings have been known to deflect arrows and chip swords. Still, as long as everyone remains calm, the casualties should be kept to a minimum. Unfazed by the screeching cries of bats, the archers identified their targets in mere minutes. Like a well-oiled machine, they fully draw and hold their arrows in unison for a few agonizing seconds. As the cry of fire rings out across their ranks, a cloud of arrows sails gracefully up, piercing countless bats. The remaining bats shriek and swoop, their fangs sharper and hide tougher than expected. But with their number so thin, casualties from the expedition are left few and far between. While tending to the wounded, a cleric notes that many bats were killed with a single shot through the eye, leaving their usual reddish hide intact. This unique, fire-resistant pelt will be of interest to many good craftsmen back home. Based. How are we doing? 33. 33! It's so fucking slow. I could make it go up. The expedition regroups in the antechamber, leaning against the walls and pillars for well-deserved rest. In the meantime, the expedition leader is again presented with the potential options. Feral goblins next. Lost a claim on Segdir. Sadness incarnate. Holy. Following the trails of blood left by the feral goblins, the expedition scouts have located the lair. It sits in a room almost antipodal to the entrance, hidden by the heat haze over the central pit. The entrance had been repeatedly smashed and broken, enlarging it enough for more than 6 men to walk through shoulder to shoulder. The adjoining chambers have also had their doorways battered, inner walls collapsed and windows barricaded with sheet metal, creating a rather spacious lair, protected from most of the heat of the forge. As the scouts watched, several dead feral goblins were brought from the lair and unceremoniously hurled into the central pit. No doubt their clan boss was angered by their failure to crush the expedition. Unfortunately, with the windows blocked, the scouts were unable to ascertain how many goblins remain in the lair or where they store their loot. Despite the lack of information on their numbers, the expedition leader decides to carry out the strike immediately. Right now, the goblins will be bickering and fighting over who should take the blame for the previous attack's failure, and who should risk their life to try again. If they can be caught off guard while trapped in their lair, their looted equipment and possible numeric advantage will be completely nullified. Hugging the walls of the forge chamber to remain undetected, the expedition approaches from both sides of the lair simultaneously. At the front are mages escorted by a small retinue of soldiers. On the leader's mark, the mages will blast fireballs into the lair, summon flashes of light and plumes of smoke, and generally attempt to disorient all the goblins inside. Any goblins rushing out of the lair for reprieve will be swiftly cut down, and once the mages are spent, the main body of the army will enter the lair to mop up the remains. As the leader begins counting down with hand signals, a loud belch emanates from the lair doorway. Daring not to breathe, the whole expedition watches powerlessly as a cave troll lumbers out of the doorway. It turns to the side lazily, meeting the leader's gaze uncomprehendingly. As its eyes widen and it raises a misshapen hunk of metal it carries with both hands, the leader desperately cries, "Now! Attack now!" All around the lair are the bodies of feral goblins mixed with those of some unlucky expedition members. Though the cave troll could crush 10 men with one swing, it was powerless against the forces of gravity. After recovering from the initial chaos, a small squad led by a mage managed to lure the troll to the edge of the pit. Their bodies lie down there with the troll now, to be retrieved by a later expedition. Seeing their troll fall broke the will of the remaining feral goblins, and they were easily mown down by the reinvigorated expedition soldiers. The panic spells cast at the beginning of the operation destroyed much of the loot lying out in the open of the lair. As those searching the lair, desperate engineer discovers a hidden compartment at the back behind a makeshift throne of iron. Inside is all manner of decorative metal artifacts, goblets, candlesticks, ceremonial swords, the list goes on. Sadness of my dead. Misty Cave's done. And the orcs continue to be yeeted away. Expedition regroups in the antechamber, leaning against the walls and blah blah blah. Let's do the magma oozes. If there are any magma oozes, that is. Bloody 35. I need to get them... I need to get them to 50. I need 15 more before I can do it. Crazy. Unsurprisingly, none of the expedition are keen on being sent down to the magma-covered platform hanging in the pit. After a quick drawing of lots, a small group of soldiers are chosen to accompany a water mage and an engineer down to the platform to attempt to disable the flow of magma. Sending too many men risks the weakened and overhead spots breaking, and so the remainder of the expedition can do nothing but watch as the group is lowered on chains to the platform. As the first soldier touches one of the few magma-free spaces, 2 magma oozes leap at them from the surrounding magma. Only a quick burst of water from the mage above keeps him from engulfing him, and they're visibly shaken as the oozes recoil back into the safety of the magma. Next few minutes are much the same. The group makes painfully slow progress across the platform, clearing pools of magma and dodging magma oozes as best they can. As they reach the dense tangle of pipes and controls, the engineer suddenly cries out, "I can see the emergency shut-off pipes, the valves are broken. I can't close them." There's little time to make a decision. The water mage is visibly exhausted and out of mana potions, and several of the group have already perished to oozes. If the valves can be repaired and the flow of magma arrested, then the magma oozes on the platform will be severely weakened, perhaps enough to save the brave men down there. Though their situation is pretty dire, what's the worst that could happen if the group is simply allowed to perish? Repair the bloody valves. The engineer works desperately with what tools and material are thrown down from above. With a grunt of effort, he finally turns the valves and shuts off the flow of magma. Magma oozes stop their assault, confused and weakened, providing the opening for the group to counterattack. Finally, the platform is cleared of magma oozes, and the relieved remainders of the group can be retrieved. As they're being pulled up, the engineer gasps and roars, "Above! Look out above!" Far above, the increased pressure from closing the emergency valves has pushed the pipes past their breaking point. As the expedition scrambles to get clear of them, they explode, showering the unlucky expedition members with magma and shrapnel. Were it not for that warning, our casualties would have been much greater. There's a silver lining too. Inside the magma were precious gemstones and chunks of ore, now left spread out on the platform for the taking. 600 soldiers died. Fucking crazy. Or were casualties, I should say. They might not have just died. Anyway, let's examine the elevators. Out of curiosity, people, how are we liking the reading out of the unique events? For general expeditions, I won't bother reading them out. Oh, Serpent's Rot's been cured. I mean, I still have it, but the cure has been, I guess one of the guys up above here has cured it, and now the cure is spreading. That's kind of nice. You're loving it? Nice. I say I won't do it for the majority, but like these ones, like the unique, the unique expeditions that come with great projects, I feel like that is worth doing. Wish they'd put the cure through the vents. Oh, they didn't? Aw, balls. With the surrounding beasts cleared and the expedition out of danger for now, interest in exploring the lower levels of the forge is reignited. The elevators once used to travel between floors hang below, the chains tangled and rusted. Many of the elevators are now missing platforms and guardrails, and some have come loose altogether, barely visible, laying battered broken deep in the pit. In this state, the expedition leader would be hard-pressed to find a single man willing to travel down using these, let alone a whole expedition. After several hours of examinations with telescopes and attempts to untangle the elevators with blasts of air, the engineers have come up with a plan. Though most of the elevators are not worth fixing, A group of larger freight elevators have been preserved in good condition and have swung free from the debris binding them thanks to the efforts of the mages. Unfortunately, the brakes are still deployed on each elevator, and their chains have been greatly weakened by the friction as the elevators slip further and further down over time. If these elevators are hauled up intact, the only major repair required is the replacement of the length of chain that hung above the elevators. However, the engineers caution that the new chain must be of sufficient sturdy metal, or the next elevator to fall may take half the expedition with it. Amid the rhythmic cries of heave-ho as the men haul the elevators up, the expedition leader considers his options. The expedition has small stores of steel, iron, and bronze, reserved for mending armor and emergency structural repairs. In a pinch, these could be fashioned into remarkably sturdy chains. Alternatively, the metal straps screwing across the forge could be used instead. After all, they were good enough for the old dwarves of Grimardum. I mean, I'm gonna go with the one that costs supplies. With the elevator chains replaced and fed into the elevator winches, the expedition watches anxiously as scrap is piled onto the elevator platforms to test their capacity. With the floors of the elevators completely covered, the winches are turned and the elevators going downwards to the bottom of the pit. After a tense few minutes, the elevators arrive back at the top with their load intact and not a single chain so much as cracked. Alright, who's going first? Bloody hell. With the fucking mana points at maximum, with the squatters cleared from the top level of the forge and the elevators repaired, the entrance to the great forge has been made safe for now. Lower levels yearn to be explored, and once again some of the more foolhardy men vie to be the first to set foot below in a millennia. Many brave soldiers were lost to the beasts, and many more supplies were spent along the trip. The expedition is also burdened with loot, so much so that the expedition leader would have to seriously consider leaving any further treasures behind. The decision is made to retreat for now, returning to the surface to resupply. The expeditionaries will be glad to be free of the cloying heat and eerie emptiness for a time. Those that have set foot in Grimardum will be back, though, as the inexorable pull of the forges draws all kinds. You know what? I'm gonna just fucking take this 9 years ahead of time. Because we're about to get 64 monarch points. How are we doing here? Fucking 37. Daughter of Asmirathan and Arikazena, Der Zobrazan has taught mastery over all noble metals such as platinum, silver, gold, and all others, including mithril. Made the jewelry of the gods, and her works were sung in praise and legend by many. Even the giants and dragons was in treat with her masterpieces. Though one foul worm kidnapped her during the era of desolation, they were struck down by Dagrin himself, and the silver beast's hide became the cloak she's often associated with. Dozo Brazan is the patron of all noblesmiths, and the silver statues of her likeness adorn many jeweler or whitesmith guild halls. Cool. $25 looks good. Fuck me, it feels like it's taking forever. Axa tunnel? What the fuck is going on here? Why is this worth so much money to it? It's a fucking 3-dev province. A whole ass ducat makes no sense. Very odd indeed. All power cost guy, maybe. Probably would lower the... Let's get someone else. I feel like he would lower the Artifice loyalty. Grab the artist, fuck it. Percent but goods produced is high. Yeah, what is my goods produced modifier? Plus 65% goods produced modifier is huge. Legitimately huge. I can upgrade... Oh, this, yeah. And then Ernat Veer, you being upgraded. Movement speed is quite nice globally. I was hoping that this might have something to increase my estate loyalty equilibrium doodad speed. Okay, I'm going to do this now, and we're going to do it again when we can. Just feel like it might be faster. That Serpent's Roy is still there. Such a terrible piece of shit. Anyway, let's... elves are fine. Do this one, I get... That's fine, I guess. It's not really what I need. Plus 100. Anything here help? Plus 2 land leader shock is real nice. All estates loyalty equilibrium. Let's go! There's a person! That means you're going to go up a little bit faster. Equilibrium is 75. But man, this is such an absolute fucking pain in the ass. Alright, that means you are now, not you, the other one. You are going to be dug deeper. I think after I finish streaming, I'm going to go and have a chat with Wagensu and just ask him what the fuck. What the fuck was he thinking with this mission? Like, it killed so much momentum. I can either do this in 5 years, or I could just get up there in 5 years. Serpent's Rot is gone. Very nice. About fucking time. There we go. Bit of deving, why not? Deving helps with my crown land as well. More speed 5ing. I mean, like I say, it's just such a... There's nothing you can do about it. Like, imagine if this was in multiplayer. Like, what would be your, like, recourse? Alright, there's the second stage of the dam. Save it, yeah. Honestly true. And me. We're almost there, we're like 5 away. But yeah. Not especially best pleased by that one. Hopefully, it will be over soon. 4% more. As the expedition once again passes over the threshold of Grumhardum, sorry, familiar heat of the forge hits them. This time, most of the expedition members have stowed the heavy armor they wore through the caves in favor of lighter leather and hide armor. The mages have even procured magical armor engraved with temperature-controlling runes, much to the jealousy of other members. Many survivors of the last expedition have returned as expected, eager to see what hides in the lower levels that were made accessible by their previous efforts. Since the last expedition, some small exploratory parties have braved the journey to the lower levels to scout ahead. All turned back quickly from the heat, unsettled by the unnatural emptiness of the cavernous forge. Their efforts were not in vain, however, as the last party noticed a peculiar stack of engraved metal plates on the lower levels near an elevator. Some of these plates were scattered around as well as they appear to have all been originally been identical. The plates were all melted, dented, torn, or scratched in different places. No fully intact plate exists. The engraving is clearly some form of runic script, but deciphering the whole message is difficult. Additionally, the back of some of the plates holds a different engraving. With the least damaged plates spread out on the floor, learned members of the party puzzle over what the original message could be. Our ancestors' message is clear as day. Clearly, honestly, 100%. 100%. Without a shadow of a doubt, we know it. What their ancestors wanted. Make 52 gold from gold, that's crazy. Translating the words of their ancestors is a common practice for dwarves, even more so since they began reclaiming their ancestral holds. With this experience, the expedition quickly deciphers both sides of the dwarven message. The obverse is a stern reminder to the workers of Grimhardum that they must not become complacent. Reading, it is required to read the labels and consult the supervisor before manipulating any controls. Message on the rear is a notice to workers, reminding them that what they should do if the great furnace beneath the forge was to ever go out. It reads, "Allow the tears of the father and the fire of the mountain to flow into the furnace." The expedition commits these translations to memory, as if the messages were too important to their ancestors, then they must be important to them too. Nailed it. Alright, we can choose another aspect of faith. Regiment cost's actually quite good. Maybe construction cost. It depends what we want as our tier 3, right? Maybe land data shock +2. So we'll go for a tier 1 from over here, like regiment cost. Or construction cost. Alana's breath, aka natural gas. Could be. As the expedition travels slowly down the repaired freight elevators, they take in the sights surrounding the huge cauldron of the Great Forge. Metal rings of flooring similar to the top level surround the cauldron at different heights. Great pipes lead to and from the cauldron, and smaller vats, forges, and smithing stations and carved chambers on each floor. These floors are much better preserved and have not been infested by squatters, owing to the difficulty of reaching them. Still, the squatters managed to despoil the lower floors with rotting bodies and trash left lying near the edge of the floors and piled up in the great cauldron, thrown into the central pit with no care for the destination. Soot blankets the floors and walls of each level, crunching underfoot and leaving ugly black stains behind. Below the huge cauldron on the bottom floor lies a fine mesh, still smouldering and belching strange vapors. The great furnace below is not completely extinguished, even after millennia of disuse, leaving the whole of Grimhardum, I keep trying to say Grozumdir, swelteringly hot. Some engineers of the expedition shudder, imagining working here when the furnace was still at full blast. Once the repaired elevators touch the bottom floor for the first time, the expedition scouts start off to explore the depths of Grimhardum. A ring of engraved steel surrounds the mesh on the bottom floor, though it's difficult to see through the ankle-high piles of dust, bones, soot, and metal scraps that have collected over time. A rough stone tunnel is the only exit in the walls of the bottom floor, in line with the entrance gate far above. Scouts who enter the tunnel return blackened with soot and panting for breath. They descend in a gentle, sloping spiral, approaching the smouldering furnace beneath the mesh. The exploration was halted by magma pouring lazily from cracks above and in the walls, covering the huge steel bridge in front of them. As far as they could tell, the bridge is still intact, but the magma must be cleared to gain access to the furnace. After reviewing the structure and pipework of the forges, the engineer of the expedition have determined the magma blocking the bridge should be flowing into the furnace below. Something is blocking the pipes into the furnace and causing an overflow of magma. How the forge is still smouldering without the heat from the magma is unknown, but irrelevant for now. Judging by the inscriptions that remain on each level, the penultimate level is the best bet to clear the magma. Somewhere on that floor, the controls to manage the flow of magma and water used to generate steam into the furnace below. The scouts look to the expedition leader, wondering where to search first. We're going left. I think we go left, right? Right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right. Holy wall of text. That's like... We've had probably about a dozen of those today, at least. $50-7! We're so close! The left side of the penultimate level is home to a series of small control chambers. All these chambers were once almost identical, containing pipes rising up from the floor and into the ceiling of each, adorned with various valves and levers. Now the control chambers are a spectrum from almost untouched to no more than a pile of rubble in a doorway. Unfortunately, the inscriptions above each room have long since worn away, making it difficult to tell what purpose even the intact control rooms serve. After a fruitless search for many more clues to the room's purpose, the expedition leader dispatches an engineer and a mage to the bottom floor. With a combination of divination and mechanical knowledge, they locate the pipes buried in the rock and run to the furnace and follow them back up to the chamber that controls them. At first, it appeared that the expedition was out of luck. The chamber the engineer pointed to was full of rubble. After a little excavation, however, it was clear that the rubble was from the partial collapse of only one wall. With some improved braces, a further collapse is prevented, and once the rubble is cleared out, the expedition leader can walk through the open path into the control chamber. Mercifully, the pipes and controls were not touched by the collapse, and it's still mostly intact. There are only 3 controls on the pipes, a pair of iron valves surrounding strange reddish leather. The valves were once coloured too, there are small flecks of paint still stuck to the rear of them. It seems that the left valve was once a peculiar light green, while the right was a deep yellow colour. Aside from the pipes running up the back wall and around these controls, the room is an empty uniform cube, only large enough for a handful of people. Alone in the room now, the expedition leader ponders his options. We will search for some instructions in the control room. The expedition leader crouches next to a cleric in the control room, puzzling over the inscription carved into the floor. Who knows what architects were thinking, placing instructions there, but luckily they were not too badly damaged by the cave-in, nor the leader's boots. After several hours painstaking restoration with small brushes, weak cleaning acids, and lots of water, the inscription is now completely legible. Even so, it's not trivial to understand. It reads, "Those from Ovdalodom finish last. He of Grozumdir moves before he of Verkal Gulen." Given the number of control rooms and the bizarre wording in the inscription, the cleric has suggested it functioned as a mnemonic. It's the silent M. Mnemonic for the dwarves working here, though he could not decode it himself. The message was relayed out to the whole expedition, but as of yet, nobody suggested how it relates to the controls in the room. So, Lodom is last, Lodom is pink, Grozumdir is green, and Gulen is yellow. Lodom is kind of red. I guess pink, red, whatever. So, it's basically green, yellow, red. Very easy. Traffic lights. Corvus Umbrog has been dug deeper. Originally a jeweler from ancient Ovdalodom, Werden Diamond was challenged by his peers to cut a gemstone that would captivate the gods with his craft. After a long and grueling journey through the Tree of Stone and back, he returned to Ovdalodom and presented a cut garnet to his peers. They told him that its match was in the possession of Dezobrazan herself. After making the declaration, he vanished, and the temple of Ovdalodom was dedicated to her contained a new mosaic depicting the wedding of Werden and Dezobrazan. As a patron of courtship and love, many young dwarves sought his blessing for happy marriages. Very cute. Bye-bye, orc scum. Left side of the penultimate level is home to series... Wait, did we read this part? Yes, we did. Anyway, we go green first. As the expedition leader completes his action, a satisfying whirring and hissing emanates from the pipes below him. Sound echoes out into the main area, where the expedition waits, assuaging fears of a pipe explosion. Then we do the yellow. Yellow valve on the right. As the expedition leader completes his action, a violent and drawn-out hiss emanates from the pipes, compounded by occasional heavy clunks. The sound of the echoes out into the main area, where the expedition waits, leaving men shifting uncomfortably and edging away from nearby pipes. Okay, but I did the right one. Imagine if that caused you to fail. Doing it in the right order, but you got the event that gave a morale loss. As the expedition leader, the expedition leader completes his action. A violent and drawn-out hiss emanates from the pipes. We read this. Wait. Well, I did it right. Dwindling resources in Latvia, of course. I'm sure I did it right. It said Lodom was last. Grozomdir comes before Gulen. I have 20 tax, 20, okay. The only one I would, like, improve is, I guess, one in the middle. I've read this, let's move on, we've done what we can. Did I just fail anyway? That would suck. The expedition exits the chamber, returning to the soot-strewn penultimate level of the forge. Everyone settles down, leaning against walls and pipes to catch their breath best they can in the sweltering heat of the forge. After a few minutes of respite, the expedition leader calls out the order to exploring the opposite side of the floor. I feel like I failed that. Like, I've done that one before. Oh, fucking let's go! Okay, Wag, you're annoying. Wait, hang on. Did he message me? He did. It was way easier pre-Artificer rework. But it needs to be adjusted, maybe. Okay. That one maybe needs to have a higher influence threshold, maybe around 50 or so. Yeah, so, yeah, this mission, I messaged Wag about it already, the guy who made this mission tree, and he's saying that it was certainly a easier task pre-Artificer rework, so I'll let him off. The Artificers have long been allowed to go unchecked because of the integral role they played in Orghelovar. We now know this was a mistake. Not only are they too driven by greed, even by Dwarven standards, they also think they are above the state. Their exploitation of their fellow scientists is hindering our own progress. It's time we increase the military presence in our holds and put these troublemakers back in their place. The rebellion plotted by our artificers has shaken the advisors of the core and forced the Enlightened Ten to re-evaluate their laissez-faire position on artificer regulations. Today, every state artificery member around Orghelovar, regardless of their participation in the planned revolt, awoke to find their attendance mandatory in a meeting with the local officials, with soldiers stationed as peacekeepers in each of our holds to ensure the proceedings go smoothly. In these meetings, the new code of law and standards devised by the council was put to them, with each member given the choice of complying in perpetuity or being stripped of their position and barred from practicing artificery in Orghelovar again. As expected, despite the tension and distrust, very few members have chosen to leave their positions. Under the new laws, all artificers must submit detailed proposals and receive approval directly from the council for all research conducted. Additionally, the possession and distribution of artificery tools and inventions has been limited severely, and the possession of them without a license or valid research grant entails a hefty fine. Lastly, the Enlightened Ten have installed their own loyal representatives as the head of each major artificer branch, provided state-accredited accountants to ensure all funding and income will be tracked. No longer will Dwarven greed hinder critical research. With these steps, artificers throughout Orghelovar have been thoroughly restricted and reduced to mere tools of the state to be used for the betterment of our nation, rather than greedy middlemen extorting their fellows. Finally, our scientists can begin researching anew. Tech cost goes up, but, I mean, I don't really care. New missions, though. Do not have modifier testing the microscope. Alright, that's the modifier I just got, right? 72. Okay, that's only 3 years. Oh my god, it killed my dudes! Those 10,000 in each hold? It fucking murdered them. Either way, I need my shit back. Hit. Literally can't get some of them back. I literally can't get some of them back. Well, that's an absolute bar stool. Well, let's consolidate all my armies into one place, and then we'll sort them out afterwards. The right side of the penultimate level has only a smattering of carved antechambers, all of which have collapsed and are inaccessible. Usually there's a large carved stone tunnel as well. Long but narrow, with smoothly curving walls tipped with simple stone staircase leading upwards. Curiously, the air in the tunnel is comparatively cooler and pleasantly humid, more akin to a beach holiday than a desert trek. The scouts sent into the tunnel are forced to return soon, however. The flickering orange light from above the staircase and the chaotic magic energies swirling in the tunnel can only mean one thing: an infestation of magma oozes. Cool air means there's very little magma in the tunnel, so each ooze should be comparatively weaker than the ones experienced on the first floor. Still, the tunnel is far too narrow for a large force to enter, whereas the amorphous oozes will have no problem utilizing their numbers. Ignoring the men clamoring to stand in the refreshing draft, the expedition leader begins selecting the men to clear the tunnel. Water mages and armored soldiers. Working in unison, the armored soldiers and water mages have torn through most of the oozes with ease. Jets of water stun an approaching ooze long enough for the soldiers to crush them in a single strike. The soldiers have forgone their shields, now competing to see who can spatter the most oozes while the mages laugh and keep track. Overcome by competitive spirit, they neglect to check the roof, allowing several oozes to squeeze through a small crack and drop upon the mages in the back. Caught out while drinking their mana potions in a quiet moment, the mages are helpless to defend themselves. Worse yet, unprepared for the mages to stop covering them, the soldiers at the front are caught out and quickly engulfed in the oncoming oozes. The expedition leader pushes forward with reinforcements, but it's too late to save many of the forward group. Ooh. If I'd gone Lich, I would have said bye-bye to Artificers. But I would never have gone Lich because it doesn't feel dwarfy to me. What I could do is go back into Artificer only mode. Could go back into Artificer only. But it would require cheating. There should be like... isn't there a thing to expel the mages? That's a thing, right? The cause of the pleasant climate in the tunnel is revealed as the expedition emerges into a naturally formed underground cavern. The difference between the rock of nature and of man is striking after so long spent in the painstakingly carved rooms of the forge. It appears that once a great underground river flowed through the cavern, slowly carving peculiar tunnels into the rock. The sound of flowing water still echoes down the cavern, but a bronze dam blocks the river. The dam stretches most of the way up to the cavern ceiling, with 4 great gates aligned along the base. These gates are open, but clogged with debris from upstream, leaving the underground riverbed bone dry. Scouts are sent to climb the dam, report seeing a frothing wall of water on the other side, battering the dam. At the other end of the underground riverbed, the floor suddenly drops and huge pipes snake off in different directions to deliver water to the forge. It seems the dam gates were once controlled mechanically, as they are far too heavy to be operated by hand. They also had retractable gates, presumably to prevent them from being clogged as they are now, but were either torn from the dam or left up. The valves and levers on the dam itself do nothing now, so the debris will need to be cleared another way. Supplies. Artificer only mode is only possible if you somehow become a technocracy. There are essentially very few ways to switch between the modes. The choice you make is impactful and can be real different. I would say I did pick Artificer only mode, but then it got fucked on by me being a magic man. And I will say, I know for a fact that happened because all of my fucking mage towers were deleted. And I didn't delete them. So I know I picked Artificer only mode, but then my guy was a frickin' magic man. He's not anymore, obviously. But, yeah. I think currently the Orghelovar Gavar form is counted as a technocracy. could do that. I don't have any mage towers, so we could just go back. What are we thinking? Is it legitimate to cheat again? Back to Artificer only mode. The one we did initially choose. I feel like it might. Maybe I could do a poll. Do another poll. New poll. Alright, there's a new poll up. Lining the tunnel on the top of the dam, the expedition watches the engineers secure the last of the explosives on the debris in the 4 gates. As the lead engineer counts down to detonation, the expedition retreats into the tunnel for safety. 3, 2, 1, detonate! The sound of the explosion booms through the tunnel, echoing off the curved walls countless times and shaking dust loose from the ceiling. Once the shaking has stopped, the expedition peers tentatively over the edge and into the cavern. The dam is a little blackened, but still intact. More importantly, the debris is gone and the water once again rushes through the riverbed. You know, we just want to complain no matter the outcome. That's a fact, actually. That is a full-ass fact. Alright, is that everyone? 244. No, I've got 10 left, but they are supposed to be on that thing. Right, so artificers split off. Oh my god, I lost so many artificers. Oh, I lost artificers to this thing. Oh no. And my artifice capacity is like massively reduced. Oh, that sucks so much ass. What's my combat width right now? 36. I mean, I might as well. Damn it. I now only have a single artificer army. Gotta load them. Why are you building people? Oh, I ran out of people. Oh, that's fun. The expedition exits this chamber, returning to the soot-strewn penultimate level of the forge. Everyone settles down, leaning against the walls and pipes to catch their breath as best they can in the sweltering heat of the forge. After a few minutes of respite, the expedition leader calls out the order to begin exploring the opposite sides of the floor. Orghelovar has been dug deeper. First son of Durovazir, Urzurvern did not possess the same strength as his father and grandfather, but his mind was keener than even the sharpest blade forged by Asmiratharazin's hand. Nailed these pronunciations, by the way. He valued knowledge and wisdom and consulted with Halana often. In the early days, disputes between giants and dragons would leave dwarves with Tam pulled underfoot, while steel and mithril aided in throwing back both. It was not enough. Seeing this, he developed a way to channel the latent magic within the earth itself, channeling it into the form of language he could harness in the magic in the dwarf stead. This was the first rune work. The history of dwarven civilization was forever changed afterwards. Alright, so that brings me over my force limit, but whatever. It happened because I got a Witch King. Magic rulers in full artifice mode are fine as long as they don't switch you out, but give some penalties. Originally, it was supposed to be impossible to get Mage Rule in full artifice mode. Some people complained. So I had the Mage Man before I formed Orghelovar, before Artificery was invented. I would have been fine with it being not possible. Just as long as it, like I had the Magic Man before Artificers. Like, if going full Artificery forced me to get a re-election, I'd be totally fine with that. By the best efforts of the expedition, the steel bridges that lead into the furnace is still covered in magma. The flow has relented somewhat, leaving sections of the bridge clear enough for the expedition to pass through, but magma still pours from above and pools on the bridge. The bubbling, roiling pool of magma that's collected beneath the bridge is uncomfortably close, leaving the bridge hot enough to burn skin on contact. Despite the adversities, the expedition leader makes the decision to push on, while the bridge is somewhat passable. As scouts move ahead, examining magma pools for waiting oozes and clearing magma as best they can, the expedition follows. And Orghelovar, I have not yet gotten an metropolis, so Orghelovar will be an metropolis. So nice, Mithril. So bad that it will turn to coal. Poll ended. We're a nation of artificers, not mages. There we go. Bye-bye, Magic Man. And we're gonna go with the 10-10 as before. $11,000! Ah, fuck it. We did what the poll demanded. We take no responsibility for my actions. As the expedition advances towards the location of the furnace, the tunnel becomes rougher and less uniform. This was clearly once part of a natural cave system and was left mostly untouched by the dwarves constructing the forge. Light flickers strangely off ore seams and the walls seem to close in as they keep advancing. Heat grows and grows until the expedition is walking through visible, bloody heat haze. Many mages report, not mages anymore, mate, I'm full artifice here, reporting visible magical distortions as well. Finally, a huge pair of doors are illuminated before them. These are similar to the doors at the entrance of the Grom Horridum, but they show signs of being hastily barricaded from this side. Steel bars, sheets of iron, and other makeshift materials have been bolted and welded to the gates, and hastily carved inscriptions and wards cover the whole door. Evidently, despite the forge being abandoned in a hurry, the inhabitants were gravely concerned about whatever was behind that door. The last straw for the expedition leader. Many of the expedition are at risk of passing out from the heat, with mages reporting nausea and dizziness from the chaotic magical energies swirling before the doors. He knows that in this state even a flock of bats would pose a serious challenge, let alone whatever's sealed behind those doors. The expedition retreats back across the steel bridge for now, resolving to return better prepared for whatever lies ahead. Very nice indeed. We will let them rest. 0% crown on gaming. Yeah, I'm aware. Let's try get some of it back. It was not the intention. But yeah, let's get everyone built up. And this can be upgraded. Regiment cost minus 5% is quite nice. And I have got reformed science. Excuse me? That's amazing. Despite all the doubters, we've achieved what was thought impossible. The mages have been integrated as the mages? The mage supervisor are like the most powerful Yes. Researchers and mages both endeavor to contribute to the... Of course they do. Yes, okay. Don't worry about that part. I feel like that was nothing to worry about. Ignore that bit. That's 25-year follow-up from the mage research thing. Ah. I thought it was something from this, but no. Right, you can head up to Kozinad. You can head down to Orghelovar. Aston Deer will become Marble Dwarf. Fine by me, and I'm an Empire. Why even watch when stream cheat? No, no, don't do me like that. I have another. I hate this. I hate everything about this fucking thing. Everything about it is so bad. Excuse me while I go fucking mad doing this. Just wait until you have to count every single individual pop vote in a Republic on Project Caesar. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Alright, everyone's back to where they need to be. That's nice. Don't care about goblins. I feel like it's dumb to get those events. Events about, oh, but you get a whole-ass goblin thing going on. Ooh, so nice. But it's like, I've had goblins as completely oppressed, and I'm expelling them and have been expelling them for expelling them for like centuries at this point. But why am I getting events relating to their anything? This is in 72, I think, testing the microphone. Where is that again? Ah, there that thing is. No idea. Hey, Kunka, how are you doing? Maybe the racist people will stop being racist. You gotta try it. No. No. To say that gene food cultivation would be the greatest agricultural innovation since the concept of farming itself would perhaps begin to explain the importance of this innovation. Though the power of modern biology and the wisdom of philosophy of mechanism, a method has been discovered to allow artificers to alter the fundamental properties of species of plants. Crops resistant to drought or flood, capable of producing bumper harvest every time, and somehow tasting even more delicious, are no longer restricted to the fantasies of farmers. Fucking great stuff. So, yeah, I will be adding that invention. Goods produced modifier. Doesn't matter that the goods are... I mean, it just says goods produced modifier. It doesn't say food goods modifier. I've also got almost 30 left, so maybe we'll get some war golems going on as well. How's the run going? I just got over a horrific hurdle of getting Artificer loyalty and influence to the right point. Finally got that sorted. And now we're waiting for a modifier to go away so that we can do some more missions. You like the new Artifice UI? I think the Artifice UI is so fucking good. It's so nice. Everything about that is just so cool. On the Artifices again, and let's go for... Ooh, construction cost, construction time would be huge. Arcane Blast as usual. I don't know why I've got so many options, though. I will point out I have no idea why that's a thing. Shock and Fire is quite nice, but I think that Subterraneans for a Dwarf run is kind of huge. Sent me the buff that I should have right now for 25 years on Discord. Probably doesn't show because I made stuff in it. I think I have that. I think I have that. I remember it just showing up right now. If I have a look at technology cost. We've got Reformed Scientist. No, it's supposed to be called Integrated something or other. I've still got that testing the microscope, though, so that's there somewhere. Why is that a global modifier? Because obviously, it's not applying globally. But it's pointing out every source of it as if it actually would add together. That's fucking crazy. Little bit mad. I think though I think there's probably something off the end here. And I'm pretty sure we saw that that thing we're waiting on ended in like 72. Like this one here ended in 72, testing the microscope. So I feel like we can probably just wait it out. It is working, but it doesn't show in the UI, so annoying. Oh. Fair enough. Subterranes is a dwarf cultural artifice invention. Oh yeah, that's probably why it's good for dwarves. I would imagine. Select my final guy, and we wanted the Landleader Shock. Also, my artifice capacity went up to 74 now. What do I do with my mill points? Because I mean, I guess we got a div. Good enough. Healthy 2700 dev now. Reform science minus 2.5 there. Yeah, we're good. We're Gucci. Pay off these loans again. Hey, we can almost take Eco Hegemon. Oh, yay, we're not even finished with the dam. This thing is fucking mad expensive. But, you know, game moves on and we just need the money. You went to the wrong fucking place. Want to do the expedition yet or no? I should probably be waiting on this, right? Because that's plus 50% from integrate mages. I can't even remember when that ends. 94? I'm not going to wait until 94. Max privileges per estate means we can wait a monthly tick and hopefully get one more from the cartels? +1, and it didn't even give me anything. Apparently I was over. I was at 9 out of 8 or some shit. Makes no sense, but okay. By the way, you saw me say the Serpent's Cure through the vents affects the whole spine at once, but affects slower provinces slower and costs a lot more. Don't know if you saw me say... Yeah, I did. Unfortunately, we didn't get an option. There we go, there's the mission. With the artificers firmly put back in line, our researchers can concentrate once again on developing new inventions. This microscope should soon finish the testing phase, and the Enlightened 10 will report back to us once Graham Glassgrinder officially presents his invention to them. We'll watch his progress with great interest. At last, Graham Glassgrinder has presented his finished microscope to the Enlightened 10. Its design ingeniously avoids distortion by using 2 different types of lenses, one to magnify and one to just focus the light into the eye of the viewer. It is modular, allowing a user to easily adjust the magnification and focus of the image by slotting in different lenses. He's even provided a portable version that fits in a monocle, sure to be a hit with the workers who have commonly had their hands full. But before the council and a group of assembled craftsmen and traders, he scoured the floor of the Grand Cavern and easily located the minuscule carved rune. Such was the power of his microscope that he correctly identified that the rune was carved using 2 tools of a different bore and length by examining the strokes left in the rock. He has been appointed a position at the forefront of the council and given free rein to oversee the production of the precisely manufactured lenses needed for the microscopes. With this invention, we stand poised to revolutionize many aspects of science. Already we've fielded research proposals for the examination of vegetation, volcanic rock, Azal Nagiv, and Dwarven flesh. We can only imagine what new knowledge this might bring, and we can be certain that once again Orghelovar's position at the forefront of science has been magnified. Lovely shit. Boom. Alright, with the discovery of the microscope, I am going to end the stream here. I have had a lot of fun, though, and we will be continuing this in a couple of days. I'm going to be streaming again on Thursday with some more Orghelovar. I have no idea how many sessions of this I've got left. We will see. We got more invention strands to do, but everything's hidden, so who the hell knows? Other than Wagensu, of course, how many more I've got left to do. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's stream. If you're watching this on the VODS channel, maybe subscribe to it. That'd be pretty cool. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.